Coffee and Head Lunch is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Court Cutting TV, Bluford's Tax Preparation, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, Casa Samtonieta India Lapa, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, John Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Montzon Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
I'm so sorry. Good morning. Oh, let me explain this unexpected bit of laughter. So I start seeing the comments scrolling, and I see this one from Laura, and it says, "Good morning, Paco and Cluster, back from beautiful Loon Lake." And the first thing that comes to my mind is the movie On Golden Bond with Audrey Hepburn going, "The loons, Norman, the loons." And I made a loon now, a loon sound based on my memory of the movie, and it sounded so wrong that I just made myself laugh. And no, I will not make my loon sound in front of you, but oh, I amuse myself sometimes. Good morning to everyone. Up. Gary, I have a follow up on this. I do have well, first of all, hello, Gary Green. One segment of today's broadcast is dedicated to you just because you asked for it. But I have a follow up on the accent on Palmarés. It turns out that there is a Spanish word, Palmarés. Somebody told me, and we'll find out more about that situation later on in the broadcast. Okay, enough silliness. Good morning, everyone. I have news. I have news for us to connect with. Some are from Puerto Vallarta. Some are from. See, that was my loon. It was. I'm not a loon. I'm never gonna be a loon. Anyhow, I dare you to make your own loon sound effects. And if you could comment with audio, I would love to hear your loons, especially if they're after I smoke. Never mind. Okay, news. Let's focus on what we're here for instead of being silly. Another children's playground was inaugurated. Another Tukilandia, that's what they're calling them. This one is in Colonia Palmar del Progreso. Of course, this is part of the mission of Mayor Munguia's administration. This was highly anticipated by families and other neighboring neighborhoods. And these parks have become a center of fun and socializing for hundreds of children and entire families during the afternoons and weekends. But you also may recall how a few days ago it was reported from City Hall that there is no funding to keep these parks properly maintained. So, in a couple of years, we'll go back and take photos of them and see how they're standing. And speaking of having money and budget to maintain things, Puerto Vallarta municipal authorities are currently carrying out rehabilitation work on the extension of the Malecón, which is known by the authorities as Malecón 2 or Malecón 2. For this reason, this part of the pedestrian walkway has been partially closed, and they have posted warning signs offering apologies to visitors. But of course, as it sometimes happens and can be expected, more than 30 families who depend on semi-permanent commerce on the Puerto Vallarta Malecón protested at City Hall yesterday because of the closing. Why? Because they were not notified. They were not notified in advance of the suspension of their activities, which seems unfair to me. I would want to know at least 1 week ahead that some work is going to be done and I won't be able to go to work. But that's just me. And last but not least, in our first block of news, before concluding her morning press conference yesterday, Mexico President Claudia Sheinbaum addressed the alleged overflight of U.S. Central Intelligence Agency drones over Mexican territory after a colorful um, statement made by the President of the United States that they would intervene against drug trafficking with military force. On the subject, President Sheinbaum reiterated the non intervention of the U.S. military or investigative agencies on Mexican soil, asserting we will always protect national sovereignty. So, if you were wondering if you're going to start seeing U.S. military around stopping drug trafficking, it won't happen, at least not in Mexican soil, says President Sheinbaum. And now let us take a quick look, a loony look, at the weather forecast. Fuck, it's smurfing sunny, says our snarky weatherman. Today it's 30 degrees, feels like 110. Humidity, well, that feels like I just made it up. Humidity is at 68%. Our weather forecast for today says we're going to have clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a high of 33, a low of 25, and a chance of rain of 44%. Tomorrow, Wednesday, scattered thunderstorms are possible through the day with a chance of rain of 64%, a high of 31, and a low of 26. Then Thursday, thunderstorms throughout the day, a chance of rain of 91% on Thursday, a high of 31 and a low of 25. I will stop making loony sounds now. I really, really will. But that was such a funny moment for me. Anyhow, as I mentioned just a second ago, I love it when I learn something new from you guys. Yesterday, I was making fun of the fact that somebody put an accent over the letter E in Palmarés uh, to advertise a DJ festival in Playa Palmares. And somebody kindly sent me a note saying, well, there is a Spanish word, palmarés, and the palmarés comes from a French word, and it means the list of winners in a competition. So it is entirely possible that this will actually be a DJ competition, but we don't know for a fact because this was not specified in the very unplentiful information we have received about this event so far. But we will continue keeping our eyes open. So if you encounter the word palmarés, it's not a fashion statement, it is an actual word. Now, the rest of the broadcast will. Oh, no, we have a couple of things that are not. Okay, let me get these items out of the way just because I didn't put. Oh, no. Let's have like food stuff. I have a bunch of food related things that I want to share with you just because. First of all, take a look at this. This is sticky rice with mango and coconut cream. It's a dessert and it is delicious. And you can find it at Siam PV. And I know it's there and I've had it and it's wonderful. And you could almost make this a destination dessert, like just go for the freaking dessert. It is that good. And I saw the photo and I felt like, well, wait a second. The last time I ate there, I forgot to order it. But if you go to Siam PV, order this. Do yourselves a favor. Save room for the sticky rice with mango and coconut cream. It is absolutely out of this world. And of course, I received this reminder from our friend Lawrence at El Rey Lounge. They're going on vacation on the 15th, so they're trying to get rid of a bunch of meat. So they're offering brisket Thursday and Friday while it lasts. Now, it is unclear to me if you have to wait until Thursday or Friday to get it, but considering the fact that they're going to be closing after Friday, you know, if you're in the mood for brisket, just give him a jingle and I'm sure they'll be able to serve it for you. Let's see. I do want to save Chiles and Nogada for the end. Why not? Let me follow up on a story that we talked about yesterday. Adidas formally apologized on Monday after Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum criticized the sportswear brand for a shoe that replicated traditional indigenous huaraches or sandals without attributing the design or crediting the artisans. Now, these look absolutely fabulous and absolutely swanky, but can you imagine the price tag these things must have? So, anyhow, Adidas has apologized for this, and now apparently they're going to work with the indigenous community involved in the plagiarism. So, I hope this ends up being a win win for everyone. I'll be curious and amused if I ever see these in a catalog or in Amazon and to find out what the price tag for them is. I don't even want to know. Now, this next one, this makes me so freaking happy. Take a look at this little like development. For a long time, social housing projects in Mexico were in the hands of large developers. However, Infonavit, or the National Workers Housing Fund Institute, decided to test the creativity of the great minds of Mexican architecture. The idea of providing all Mexicans with decent, affordable, and quality housing could soon become a reality because six boutique architectural firms were approached to present six prototype social housing projects. And in the town of Apan, in the state of Hidalgo, the Infonavit Housing Research and Practical Experimentation Laboratory project created this completely revolutionary horizon, not only for the city, but also for the way of living in Mexico. The site was created with the intention of designing and developing prototype houses to deepen the analysis of social housing and improve the quality of life of its inhabitants. Now, there are three takeaways from this. First of all, look at how fun and funky these projects are. Like, forget about social housing. I'll take one of those in a heartbeat. I mean, they look absolutely stunning. And takeaway number two is I'm going to share with you the link to Architectural Digest Mexico magazine, where you can see more photographs of these designs up close. And takeaway number three, and this is something that I've been doing for some time as a Facebook user, I follow the Facebook page of Architectural Digest Mexico because I love the aesthetic of contemporary Mexican architecture. And it is something that you may or may not know about. Mexican architecture is renowned worldwide for its innovative approach. And and for me to follow Architectural Digest on Facebook, not Architectural Digest up north, but Architectural Digest Mexico, it is a great way to get architectural sugar candy delivered to me on a regular basis. And if you're curious about this, I will also share the Architectural Digest Mexico Facebook page for you to be able to have a look at uh, if this is of interest to you. Now, move me to one of these housing projects any day. Now, last but not least, Gary Green approached me through email the other day, and he's like, just why, whenever you have time, would you talk about Chiles and Nogada? And it's like, I always have time to make Gary Green happy because he's such an amazing person. Of course, we know that Gary Green is the president of the Amapas Neighborhood Association, number one. Number two, he is a great gringo living in Mexico. He travels through Mexico more frequently and more thoroughly than anyone I know. And he's embraced our life and our lifestyle and our culture in a way that should inspire anybody else. So whenever Gary says to me, do something, as long as I don't have to take my clothes off, I am so happy to do it. Chiles en Nogada are this beloved patriotic Mexican dish that is said to have been originated on August 28th, 1821. Now, what was that special? What was so special about that day? Well, picture this. There is a convent of Augustinian nuns um, in Puebla. It's the convent of Santa Monica. And on August 28th, 1821, they were celebrating not only Mexican independence, but they were told that General Agustin de Iturbide would ride through town with his soldiers after the Treaty of Cordova. So the story says that the nuns, the Agustinian nuns of Santa Monica, decided to treat Agustin de Iturbide, to treat the general with a patriotic dish. So they created chiles en nogada, which translates to like stuffed peppers in a walnut sauce. And how did they make them patriotic? Well, they used the colors of the flag. The green is represented by the roasted poblano chile. White is represented by the nogada or walnut sauce. And red is represented for the pomegranate seeds that decorate this dish. And of course, also the parsley that is used to decorate the dish. But it's not only a color fest, this is a beautiful, sweet, and savory Baroque masterpiece. The picadillo or pork and beef stuffing in the chiles is made sweet with seasonal Puebla fruits like manzana, apples, and pears, and apricots. And then the nogada, which is the sauce, is made with fresh Castilla walnuts. And then, of course, you have the sweet pomegranate seeds that decorate the dish along with the parsley. And this is a delicious dish that is served at room temperature. There's nothing more cringe worthy than sitting down at a restaurant and getting a warm serving of chiles en nogada. It is served cold or room temperature. Now, this is a seasonal dish. It is only available late July to September because this is, number one, it's the time in which the fruits involved are available. It's their harvest season. And number two, it's the time in which we celebrate Mexican independence. So more than just a dish, chiles en nogada is this amazing piece of Mexican history you can actually taste. And the season is around the corner. Now, quite coincidentally, with this request from Gary Green, our beloved Logan shared this post with me just the night before, in which William Carvalho of Barcelona Tapas posted something on a local Facebook group, and I'd like to read it to you. William said, I would like to recommend this dish called chile en nogada. It's a famous classic and historic Mexican meal. Jorge, then he recommends someone. Jorge, one of his clients, sold these to me and is making them on weekends. And for the exact recipe and price, you can call him to arrange. For a few years, I have ordered them for my home and some friends. The photos I am sharing are the actual ones I received, beautiful and delicious. And he shared the name of the person that makes them and the phone number. So I'm going to share this information with you in case you want to order these. I take this recommendation from Bill Carvalho as a good one, and I believe you should too. Now, this is not the only source of chiles en nogada. You can also find chiles en nogada at Costco, and I've heard that the Costco chiles en nogada are very good. You will find that the price is not inexpensive, and that's because it is there's a lot of labor. It's a labor-intensive dish, and there are some restaurants that will serve them during the season. And of course, last but not least, before we get into our conversation section, I want to remind you that Chiles en Nogada is one of the many elements of how we celebrate our independence. And this September 11th, just 4 days before Mexican independence, I'm going to my presentation on Viva Mexico, Our Music, Stories, Culture, and Legacy returns to the Joint Boutique Hotel. Here is where you can learn every aspect of how we celebrate our independence, why we celebrate it, and the traditions that you see us getting involved in. This presentation will provide you with a better appreciation of it all. It always sells out, and I'm excited to offer it again. And I think that's all we had for today. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, no more looning. Let's take a look at your comments. Let's see. Okay, I have to show this one again. Good morning, Gary. It's great to see you. I hope you enjoyed your Chiles en Nogada presentation. I hope you're hungry now. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Laura, I'm glad you got a kick out of the fact that I got a kick from you getting a kick, and you know how it goes. Many good mornings, which I appreciate. Oh my God. You know what, Mary? Have you been into the wine this morning? As a matter of fact, I have. Guilty as charged and not at all ashamed. I ran out of coffee creamer. So this morning, I sweetened my coffee with rompope, or Mexican eggnog, which has a low content of alcohol. So no, I'm not feeling tipsy, but since you mentioned it, and just to keep things accurate, yes, I have been into the wine this morning. Laura, I think you're making me loony, and that's only in the best possible way. Thank you very much. Well, I I went there at least 2 or 3 times. I still think it's silly. Hello, Stan. I'm going to see you in a little while. Today is neurofeedback day for me. So maybe that'll take the loony out of me at least for a few hours, or maybe it'll enforce it a little bit further. Logan, I am so amused by your comment and all these like forecasts of rain. It's like we have an expression for that in Spanish. Me los paso por el arco del triunfo. And oh my God, how can I explain that briefly? Okay, what's the name of the Arco del Triunfo in English? It's that monumental, triumphal arch in Paris. You know what I'm talking about? The one that looks like this. So when in Spanish you say, me lo paso por el arco del triunfo, it's a way of saying I will take this and rub it against the inside of my legs, where the genitals are. And the meaning of the expression is a very vulgar way of saying, yeah, I'll take that fact and rub it against my midlands, to imply that it's nothing that is actually going to happen. So that was awkward. I'll have to work on that one. Let's see. That looks heavenly. Wow, I'm going to try that. If you are down here in the fall, Laura, Chiles en Nogada they are just such a treat. And thank you for that, Karen. Yes, the sticky rice dessert not only looks delicious, it is absolutely wonderful. Boom, boom, boom. There is a queue. Are you planning on the return of the taco tours in the fall? Am I planning on the return of the taco tours in the fall? Well, we don't do taco tours, Michael, but every now and then we run into amazing taco places that are just great. So if I discover any new taco places any time of the year, I am definitely going to talk about them. But maybe we should revisit some of the taco places that we've mentioned in the past just to keep everybody um, mindful of them because they are great taco places all over town. Let's see what else. That social housing looks fabulous. Betsy, it looks like Pee Wee's Playhouse. And I can't wait to read the whole article. Oh my God, we have two Buffords. The two brothers Bufford are watching. I love it. So, take care of your Canadian taxes with one and gain a few grams or kilos with the other, eating Thai food. I love it. Let's see. I'll be so happy to share that, Barbara. Again, it is a great way to get visual candy on a regular basis. And when you start looking at some of these homes, oh my God, the way Mexican architects interpret our heritage without making these homes in tiny pueblos look out of place, it is just fascinating. Let's see. I love Chiles and Nogada, but they are difficult to find in PV. Any idea where I can go? Again, Mary, the season is just starting, and as soon as I start reading of places that have them, I will be more than happy to mention this in the broadcast. And here's a quick answer to your question. It's really great for breakfast or lunch and dinner at Andales in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. They have them year around. There you go. I love it. Oh, what a great comment. Susan says, you have increased my love for Mexican food. We come here every morning to increase your love for Mexican anything we can. So that's right on my goal. Right on my goal, Susan. Thank you very much for that. Okay, well, that was the general idea, Gary. If you're now hungry, then I have fulfilled my destiny. See, I wish we had a way to engage audio comments because, Chris, now I'd be curious to hear your loon sound. And your loon sound, well, I can't comment on it because I haven't heard it, but I cracked myself up. Oh, thank you, Liz. That's exactly what I was looking for. The Arc de Triomphe. Yes, that's the one. Oh, Michael says, I would sponsor a few taco tours or places because I need some new places to go. Let's have a mission, Michael. And thank you very much, as always, for your generosity. As a reminder, if going to Michael's restaurants is not, if the food that Michael serves at his two wonderful restaurants, well, three, one has two branches, Bravos and Siam PV, was not reason enough, I do want to remind everybody that Michael has sponsored walking tours in Yelapa this weekend and a stay in Yelapa. So yours truly will be gone Friday and Saturday. We'll have pre-recorded shows because I will be with friends in Yelapa doing housing tours of the casitas where we're staying and also doing Yelapa walk-around tours. So if you wish to show Michael Beaufort some appreciation, do cater to his three wonderful restaurants in town. They are amazing. And I say that not only because Michael is a community partner here at Coffee and Headlands. I say it because it's the truth. Amazing, wonderful restaurants. Let's see what else. Uh-oh. The brothers Beaufort are challenging each other to sponsor taco walks. I love it. I love it. Michael says, I'm sure Tim would sponsor a few taco walks around. Let's do it. Let's do it. Red Cabbage offers Chiles and Nogada year around. Well, yes, except for when they're closed. And as a reminder, Barbara, and for anyone that knocks on their door, I walked down I walked right in front of them and they were closed for the summer. So do remember, some restaurants do close during the summer months, or at least for a few weeks. So make sure you call ahead if you're pursuing these things. Betsy says, I believe that Adobes has Chiles and Nogada all year round, also located in Emiliano Zapata. And two supporting messages about Bravos, one from Mary Romaine and one from Ramona Rodriguez. Of course, we love these restaurants. They are absolutely wonderful. And with that said, we've reached the end of today's broadcast. Again, you make coffee and headlines possible. If you got hungry, if you laughed a little, if you made a connection, if you became homesick, if you added a new item to your must do in Puerto Vallarta list, remember that it is your generosity, your support, your coffees, your membership that make it all possible, and that your word of mouth by subscribing, by sharing, by forwarding is worth so much, and I'm deeply grateful for that. So I'm off to neurofeedback, and I will see you again tomorrow morning for more coffee, more headlines, and more stories. Have a great day.